Hello and welcome to yet another video. This is the 9th episode of the story, in which Naruto, born into the Uchiha clan, rises to become the strongest Uchiha and Shinobi ever, alongside his sister, the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Please like and subscribe to show your support. Let's get the show started. Natsumi was sitting down in the middle of the forest constantly gathering natural energy while she sent shadow clones to Konoha in order to gather natural energy for when her sage mode runs out. She could detect pain just a few miles out, and to make sure Konoha was safe, Natsumi used the wood dome jutsu to surround Konoha from any potential damage that may occur. She was brought out of her thoughts when suddenly Ma and Pa appeared in front of her. "What are you two doing here?" Natsumi asked. "We're here to give you a hand with pain." Ma said, "We've fought them with Jiraiya Boy and know a bit about their skills. While you have undoubtedly surpassed Jiraiya Boy in the sage arts and in skill in general, the 5 bodies of pain will still be a hassle for you." Pa said, "So in other words, pain is going to be a pain in the ass to defeat?" Natsumi asked, "In layman's terms, yes." Pa said, "So, give me the rundown of the skills I'm going up against." Natsumi said, "For starters, be very careful of the Rinnegan. The first thing you should know is that each one of these bodies possess the Rinnegan." Pa said, "What? How is that even possible?" Natsumi asked, "We have come to the conclusion these are fake bodies, and whoever the real pain is must have somehow given each of them powers of the 6 paths." Ma said, "First things first is that you can forget about attacking from a blind spot. Each of their eyes are linked, and if they are even within the same vicinity as each other they can block any attack." Pa said, "Like I said, a giant pain in the ass." Natsumi said, "Also if you wish to make things a bit easier on yourself during the fight, you must take out the Nakara path first. It has the ability to repair any damage. This path is most notably at the back of their attack formation." Pa said, "Take out the one way in the back first." Easier said than done apparently. Natsumi said, "Correct. The next one you should worry about is the Preta path that has the ability to absorb chakra through physical contact and chakra-based ninjutsu attacks." Ma said, "So, I'll have to separate them all at once first and then take out those two. I can probably come up with something for that." Natsumi said, "The most dangerous one to me is known as the Deva path. This path has the control over gravity to repel or attract anything it wants." Pa said, "Aw man. How come I get the hard guy and Naruto gets Itachi? It's not fair." Natsumi said, and Ma smacked her upside the head. "Focus." Ma said, "Right. Sorry." Natsumi said, and then pain landed in front of her, the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Deva Path said, "These are the ones that took out Pervisage?" Natsumi asked, "Yes." Pa said, "Have you come to surrender?" Deva Path asked, "Surrender isn't in my vocabulary. I'm going to make you pay for killing Pervisage. After that I'm going to find the real body and the fuck you up again. It's fitting that I get to kick your ass 6 times in one fucking day." Natsumi said the 5 of the remaining 6 paths of pain got information, and just like Pa said, Nakara path was in the back of the group. The animal path summoned a rhino that charged towards Natsumi only to be stopped when Natsumi grabbed it by its horn and threw it away like it was nothing. Animal path summoned 2 more summoning creatures, but Ma and Pa stopped them with a genjutsu. Natsumi created 2 shadow clones and had them defeat the summoning creatures with a giant Rasengan. As Natsumi charged in to attack, the actual bodies of Pain, Gamabunta, Gamahiro, and Gamaken sprang into action to take out the summoning creatures. As Natsumi was rushing in to fight, one of the paths came towards her and Pa informed him that it absorbs ninjutsu, so Natsumi used her taijutsu to defeat him. Natsumi threw a fake, and when she went for her actual attack, she was surprised that Preta path dodged her attack. Ma reminded her that all of the eyes of the paths were connected, so a blind spot attack wouldn't work. She switched to her frog Kyumite taijutsu and easily won. "Natsumi, even though you have defeated the Predapath, he can come back to life. The one all the way in the back is able to summon something that can fix the body. I do want to make things easier for you, then you should take out the pain keeping its distance. Ma said, I know. I'm on it. Naruto said. Natsumi created a giant raisin shuriken and threw it at the remaining paths. Like she predicted, each of them jumped away, but his true target was the Nakara path. Once the raisin shuriken was close enough, but just out of striking distance, Natsumi made it expand and it destroyed the Nakara path by ripping it to pieces. I see. So you've become a sage and mastered the same jutsu as Jiraiya-sensei. Deva Path said, you have no right to call him sensei. You killed him and claimed it was for peace, and he was one of the most peaceful people around. This crusade that you're on won't lead to peace. It'll just lead to another war. Natsumi said, peace cannot be achieved without pain. War causes pain, and I shall create a new world from the ashes of war. Deva Path said, then it's time for you to die. Once I defeat the fake bodies of yours, I'm coming for the real body, Nagato. Natsumi said, I am pain. Nagato no longer exists. Deva Path said, and Natsumi clapped her hands together with style. Wood Dragon Jutsu. Natsumi created a large dragon made of wood that sped towards the Deva Path, but the Deva Path held his hand out and completely destroyed the jutsu. Natsumi quickly used the Water Dragon Jutsu and caused serious damage to the animal path, temporarily removing it from the fight, and then she was blasted away by an invisible force. Natsumi stood up and quickly jumped out of the way from a rocket that was headed straight towards her. Natsumi dodged the rocket at the last second and then used the Ripping Torrent Jutsu on the Ashura path, but like last time this jutsu was also destroyed by an invisible force. Natsumi's Sage mode ran out, so she quickly released a shadow clone back in the village and she was down to 5 shadow clones. What's going on? Why aren't any of my attacks hitting? Natsumi asked. That's the Deva Path's ability to repel any attacks thanks to gravity. However, now that I've seen it up close and in use multiple times, there seems to be a certain amount of time in between his ability usage. Ma said. Natsumi nodded and decided to test out the recovery time for Deva Path's ability. Natsumi used the Kunai Shadow Clone Jutsu on Deva Path, and like she expected, all of the kunai were blown away. She instantly started to count in his head how long the jutsu had before it could be used again and then attacked the Deva Path with taijutsu. Natsumi had the clear advantage and nearly finished the Deva Path, but she was blown away by an invisible force. 5 seconds. Natsumi thought and smirked. Natsumi ran straight at the Deva Path, who prepared to blow her away, but as soon as he activated his ability, Natsumi vanished and the animal path was completely destroyed by a giant Rasengan. 3 down and 2 to go. Natsumi took out Nakara Path, Preda Path and Animal Path in 15 minutes. Deva Path was so frustrated that he used his almighty push to destroy everything around them, reducing the forest to one gigantic crater. The jutsu was so powerful that it knocked Natsumi out of Sage mode while sending Ma and Pa back to empty Mayaboku. Konoha, Hinata, can you see what's going on out there? Sakura asked. Not really. Natsumi's chakra is so dense that it's making it hard for me to see through the dome. Hinata said. Ino, what about you? Can you sense anything? Sakura asked. Yeah. Whoever she's fighting just let off a huge amount of chakra. Ino said, and then they felt the ground shake from Deva Path's jutsu. What the hell was that? Kiba asked. That was a jutsu from whoever Natsumi is fighting. Ino said, I think we should go help her. Sakura said, no. Natsumi put this dome around the village for a specific reason. Tsunade said, as she arrived next to them, to keep whoever she's fighting from getting to the village. Shikamaru said, no. It's to keep us in the village. She doesn't want any of us getting involved in the fight and she's keeping us trapped until it's over. It shouldn't take long, seeing how she only needs to fight 5 bodies since we still have 1. Tsunade said, I don't believe it. Hinata said, what happened? Tsunade asked, the forest. It's gone. Hinata said, how? Tsunade asked, I don't know. After that huge release of chakra, there was a small gap in the chakra keeping the dome together and I saw the forest was gone. Nothing is there except for a crater. Hinata said, what happened to Natsumi? Karen asked, she's in pretty bad shape, but she's standing. It's only 2 more left before she wins. Hinata said, easier said than done. 3 of her shadow clones just went up in smoke that she sent here. Kiba said. What were they even doing? They were just sitting there. Shikamaru said, they were collecting natural energy for Sage Mode. Natsumi has officially become the next Toad Sage and I believe she surpassed Jiraiya in the Sage Arts. Tsunade said, this dome is going to make me go crazy. Can't somebody just destroy this damn thing? Sakura asked, there is one person, but he's not here right now. Tsunade said, Naruto. Karen said, I don't understand it. How come you can't break through this dome, Lady Tsunade? Sakura asked, if it was just normal chakra flowing through this I'd be able to, but there are 3 different types of chakra flowing through it. I'm not the best sensor, but I can detect Natsumi's regular chakra, her tailed beast chakra and natural energy flowing through the dome. The tailed beast chakra alone is dangerous to anybody that isn't a jinchuriki comes in contact with it. Tsunade said, then how come Naruto can break it? He's not a jinchuriki. Ino said, true, but the draconic chakra which he has is so powerful that it can counteract the tailed beast and nature chakra flowing through the dome. Tsunade said Natsumi versus Pain, damn. That was one hell of an attack. He managed to knock me out of Sage Mode and somehow a few of my shadow clones disappeared. I need to get rid of all this smoke to see where he is now. Natsumi thought almighty push before Natsumi could blow away the smoke. She heard Deva Path trying to get rid of the smoke since he couldn't see her either. Natsumi smirked again as she was able to keep the smoke going for a little bit longer by using her wind and earth chakra natures. She located the Ashura Path who was firing missiles everywhere into the smoke and Natsumi just stood there and watched. She decided to use her sword for this one and then unsealed the Kubikuribocho. She coated her sword in wind chakra and silently crept up behind the Ashura Path and split it in half vertically using the wind style, vacuum blade jutsu. And then there was one. Natsumi said, as she blew away the smoke with the great breakthrough and entered Sage Mode again, you're an annoying little pest, 9 tails. Deva Path said, I tend to get that a lot. You made a fatal mistake coming here to face me. Natsumi said, oh? What would that be? Deva Path asked, you waited to come and capture me after you killed Jiraiya-sensei. You should have come for me right after, but you didn't. I was already close to his level and he managed to take out 3 of your paths. I've surpassed him in the amount of time you foolishly decided to sit and wait. On top of that, you came to my domain to fight me instead of ambushing me while I was out on a mission. You let the power of your Rinnegan go to your head and you've become arrogant thinking you're a god. Natsumi said, you may have taken out some of the paths, but they can be replaced. I am a god and this world shall know pain. Deva Path said, this world has already known pain long before either of us existed. Your twisted ways of peace will only lead to this world's destruction and this is kind of cliché, but I can't let that happen. Natsumi said, I am the world's savior. I was put on earth to usher in a new era peace and peace is only achieved through chaos. Deva Path said, what about all of the innocent lives you've taken? Does any of that matter to you? Natsumi asked, a small price to pay for salvation. Their sacrifices will not be for nothing. Deva Path said, you're basically on your way to committing a mass genocide. Natsumi said, what you call a genocide I call a cleansing of the world. Deva Path said universal pull before Natsumi could react, she was going towards the Deva Path with no way of stopping. Deva Path stabbed Natsumi with some black rods before pinning her down to the ground. Tell me, has this tamed you a little, 9 tails? Deva Path said, you know, if I were the actual Nine Tails you'd be dead now, right? I bet you expect me to lay here and listen to your evil tirade about why you're doing this and how your childhood was growing up. I'll be honest, if you were fighting the old me from 3 years ago, I'd probably let you sit here and talk to me, but this is the new and approved Natsumi. To be blunt, I simply don't give a fuck about why you're doing this. I stopped giving a fuck about your reasons the moment you took my only father figure away from me. Natsumi said, that's good. It makes capturing you much easier. Deva Path said, this is the thing. You honestly think I don't feel you trying to drain my chakra? I'm an Uzumaki that has the 9 tails sealed inside of me and knows Sage Mode. It would take forever to drain me of my chakra. Now, I'd love to stay and chat, but it's time for me to break out of this. Natsumi said before the Deva Path could do anything, Natsumi released all of her natural chakra, causing a huge explosion and forced the Deva Path to jump away from her. The Deva Path used the universal pull on Natsumi and stabbed her in the gut with one of his black chakra rods, but she went up in smoke. Natsumi quickly appeared in front of him and kicked him away before firing off the Mud Dragon Jutsu that connected. Natsumi ran at him to connect with a giant Rasengan, but 5 seconds went by and she was blasted away by his almighty push. That jutsu is really annoying. Natsumi thought, as she stood up, are you ready to give up, 9 tails? You cannot defeat a god. Deva Path said, I know I can't defeat a god, but I can whoop a bitch's ass like I'm about to. Natsumi said and released a shadow clone to enter Sage Mode. Natsumi just vanished and all the Deva Path could do was look around before Natsumi had her fist buried into his gut. Naruto created a Rasengan that exploded point-blank range and Deva Path was sent flying away skidding on the ground. Natsumi rushed at the Deva Path, but she was blasted away from an almighty push and then saw the Deva Path running away from her. Natsumi gave chase and slammed her fist into the back of the Deva Path, who underestimated Natsumi's newfound speed. The Deva Path then used his gravity manipulation to hit Natsumi with a giant slab of earth that sent her flying away. Natsumi gave chase once again after she recovered from her dazed state, but when she caught up to Deva Path, Natsumi saw him toss a small black orb into the sky. What the hell is that? Natsumi asked. Planetary devastation. All of a sudden, Natsumi was lifted off of the ground and sucked into a giant sphere made of nothing except the earth around him. She was trapped, but the Deva Path kept adding more and more chakra to make the attack stronger in order to hold Natsumi long enough to transport her. Son of a bitch. First he can blast me away, then he can pull me close against my will, and now he can strap me in a giant whatever the fuck this is. Natsumi thought and started to leak her chakra to the ground. After concentrating long enough, Natsumi went through multiple hand signs before using the wood style, deep forest emergence, causing large trees to sprout from the ground before reaching the giant earth ball she was trapped in. Soon enough the trees started to dig into the earth ball until it eventually broke apart and Natsumi fell to the ground. You son of a bitch. Natsumi said. Natsumi created the wind style, Raisin Shuriken, and just threw it at the Deva Path, who blocked it with the almighty push and destroyed the jutsu with ease. Before he could react, the Deva Path was knocked into the air by a kick from Natsumi, and just before the 5 seconds was up for his almighty push, Natsumi slammed a massive Rasengan into his stomach. Deva Path fell to the ground unable to move, and Natsumi finished it off with a wind style, Rasengan to his face. Well, that's over with. Natsumi said and started to remove the chakra rods from. I hope this works. Natsumi thought and entered Sage Mode, then stabbed herself in the hand. Found him. Should I call for backup? No. I need to go alone. Natsumi said and dropped the dome around Konoha before running off. Forest. Natsumi was jumping through the trees on her way to the real pain, and despite being fueled by anger to kill whoever this person was, deep down she just couldn't go through with it for some reason. Natsumi. A voice yelled as Inoichi, Shikaku, and Ko Hyuga landed in front of him. What's up? Natsumi asked. The fact that you're here by yourself, does that mean you finally defeated the 6th pain? Inoichi asked, it doesn't really matter who won or who lost. Natsumi said, what happened? Shikaku asked, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Natsumi said, I don't understand. What do you mean by that? Inoichi asked, I don't think it's really important. I'm on my way to see the real pain right now. Please, don't try to follow me. I need to do this alone. Natsumi said, have you figured out where the real pain can be found? Ko asked, yeah. When I was still in sage mode, I tracked him through one of the black rods from one of the path's bodies. Natsumi said, why is it so important to go alone? What's going on, Natsumi? Inoichi asked, there's something I need to check out. I need to talk to him. The real pain. I was so blinded by emotion during our fight that I didn't try to understand why he's doing what he's doing. Just let me go alone. Natsumi said, you know once Lady Tsunade finds out she's going to kill you, right? Inoichi asked, yeah. I guess we'll have to see what she does when I return to the village. Natsumi said, go on ahead. I think you've earned the right since you were the one who defeated pain. Shikaku said, thanks. Natsumi said and ran off. Mind telling me why you just let her go? Inoichi asked. I secretly had her in my shadow possession jutsu and she was still moving around. It had zero effect on her movements and she didn't even feel it. Besides, Master Jiraiya would trust her on this, so I think should as well. Shikaku said. Uchiha hideout. After leaving Temari and Anko behind with Kisame, Naruto made his way into the Uchiha hideout and kept his Sharingan activated. He knew enough about Itachi to suspect any kind of genjutsu, and he knew his Sharingan was the best at detecting genjutsu. Eventually he made it to the room where Itachi was waiting for him and stopped about 10 feet from Itachi. I see you made it. Itachi said, hard to ignore an invitation from the Itachi Uchiha. Naruto said, tell me, Naruto. How much can you see with those Sharingan eyes of yours? Itachi asked, a lot more than you can, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Naruto said, so, you have the Mangekyo as well? Itachi asked, I do. Naruto said, so, you managed to kill your best friend. A shame. I never took you for the kind of person that would kill a comrade. Itachi said, you mean how you led everyone else to believe you did? Sorry, but I didn't kill anybody to get my Mangekyo. Let me guess, you read the Uchiha stone tablet, didn't you? Naruto asked, I did. The secrets of the Sharingan and its visual prowess has been right under our noses the entire time, but only a select few have been able to read past a certain point. Does the name Madara Uchiha sound familiar to you? Itachi asked. Of course it does. He is family after all. Naruto said, and Itachi looked at him. I see. Let me tell you a story about our mothers. Did you know they were referred to as the Sharingan sisters during the Third Shinobi War? Itachi asked. I did. Naruto said, did you know that wasn't just a name for the battlefield, but a name due to them being actual sisters? Itachi asked. I had a feeling they were. They did look alike. Naruto said, then you must have figured out that you and I are related by blood. Itachi said, I did, and it also meant Sasuke is my cousin as well. Naruto said, he's not. Itachi said, isn't he your brother? Naruto asked, yes, but he was not. Conceived by my mother. My father had an affair with a woman while my mother was out on the battlefield and had the woman killed after Sasuke was born. He took Sasuke in, and my mother didn't find out until Sasuke was 6 years old that my father had an affair. It's what played a part in the downfall of the Uchiha clan as well. Itachi said, how? Naruto asked, on top of the obvious problems going on between the village and the Uchiha clan after the Nine Tails attack, my mother secretly divorced my father and moved in with your mother. She was only around to keep up the appearance of the clan. The divorce caused my father to snap and quicken the plan for the coup, but he knew my mother would stand against him and he himself was afraid to fight her because then your mother would get involved. Despite your mother's sickness, she was still a force to be reckoned with, and you've witnessed that firsthand when a group of my father's most trusted men tried to attack you when you were 6 and she easily wiped them out. Itachi said, well, she was put in the same category as the legendary Sannin, so it's not really a shocker. So, why did you or whoever helped you that night kill Mikoto if she was against the coup? Naruto asked, what makes you think I had help? Itachi asked, despite how strong you were back then, I know for a fact that you weren't strong enough to take out a clan of Sharingan users on your own. Well, you probably could have, but it would have taken you longer than a few hours to do it. Naruto said, I was helped by the ghost of the Uchiha clan, Madara Uchiha. Itachi said, Madara is dead. While there are certain ways he could have prolonged his life like using Izanagi, he would only be able to use it twice. Naruto said, what you say has some truths to it, but that's the name I was given. Itachi said, come on, Itachi. You're smarter than that. You mean to tell me you actually believed Madara Uchiha was still alive and helped you kill the Uchiha clan? You know what, I don't care. I want answers and I know you can give them to me. Naruto said, answers to what? Itachi asked, who is the man in the orange mask? Naruto asked, that is Madara Uchiha. Itachi said, bullshit. Madara wouldn't go around acting like a dumbass, and I've had a small little scuffle with this guy and I know for a fact if he was the real Madara then I wouldn't be alive right now. I do know for a fact that he's an Uchiha. Naruto said, and Itachi smirked a little bit, seems I'm not the only genius in the Uchiha clan. Itachi said, I'm more of a researcher actually, and trust me when I say I know a lot more than you as well as the Akatsuki when it comes to the plans your so-called leader wants to fulfill. Like the entire Uchiha stone tablet other than the Mangekyo Sharingan abilities is one big lie and somebody has been tampering with it to this very day. Naruto said, what do you mean? Itachi asked, the entire killing of your best friend to unlock the Mangekyo is a lie. I didn't kill my best friend for the Mangekyo and I know you didn't kill Shisui. Naruto said, and now Itachi was stunned, how do you know that? Itachi asked, I found the autopsy report on Shisui. The way he was killed was the way a Root Umbu member kills somebody. That and the fact that I know where one of his eyes is makes things even more clear that you didn't kill him. You took the fall because you knew you were going to massacre the clan, which now brings up my next question. Why fill Sasuke up with so much anger if he was already being groomed by your father? You should have known that he would become even more unstable. Naruto said, I foolishly believed he would change his ways with you and Natsumi around. Itachi said, well, he did have a brief change for a bit according to Natsumi, but he simply refused to believe that he could become strong unless it was fueled by anger and hatred. Him getting the curse mark didn't help and neither did him killing his Chunin guards. Naruto said, was Natsumi remorseful over his death? Itachi asked, you have no idea. I don't think she ever got over it until she was gone training. She really looked at Sasuke as a friend and did not want to kill him, but she thought it was the best way to save him from himself. Say he joins Orochimaru's side and gets power like he wants. Do you think he'd stop if he somehow managed to kill you like he wanted? He'd just keep going until he quenched his thirst for power and revenge. I had a conversation with the third Hokage about our group and he said it reminded him of the time when Jiraiya, Tsunade and Orochimaru were just starting off. He said that Kakashi was like Tobirama, who was the veteran that overlooked things. I was somewhat like him when I became the co-leader due to the way I handled myself, and I'm sure you can figure out who everyone else was. Except for my dad's team, I guess Team 7 is just destined to have a rogue shinobi or someone who loses their way. Naruto said, and Itachi stood up, the time has come for us to have our fight. Our mothers were sisters, and now that my father is dead you are the last remaining relative I have alive. Your eyes are just like mine and you will help me gain the ultimate power. Your eyes will give me eternal light. Itachi said. Naruto immediately caught a kunai thrown by Itachi out of the air and blocked a punch aimed at his face. Naruto swiped at Itachi with the kunai, who turned into a flock of crows. Then Naruto quickly turned around and gave Itachi a knee to the gut. Before Itachi could counter, Naruto broke apart in dragon scales before Itachi saw him sitting where he once was. "Genjutsu won't work on me," Naruto said. He appeared in front of Itachi, who caught his fist, but the impact managed to send Itachi sliding back a bit. Itachi kicked Naruto away and used the fireball jutsu immediately after. Naruto pulled out his sword and cut the fireball in half before countering with the dragon flame jutsu. Itachi jumped out of the way and both men started a taijutsu fight. While the fighting was going on, Itachi quickly activated his Mangekyo Sharingan and trapped Naruto in the Tsukuyomi. Naruto was pinned to a cross and stabbed multiple times before Itachi ripped out one of his eyes. Before Itachi could take the next one, the Tsukuyomi broke apart and both men fell to the ground, but Itachi was holding his left eye. "You broke the Tsukuyomi," Itachi said. "You really shouldn't be surprised, but I can understand why. The Tsukuyomi is a powerful genjutsu that is supposed to be unbreakable, but it can be broken by somebody who has the Mangekyo as well." Naruto said. Itachi started to quickly go through hand signs and Naruto threw a giant Fuma shuriken at him. Just before the shuriken hit, Naruto held up one hand sign and the Fuma shuriken broke into hundreds of smaller shuriken that Itachi had a hard time evading. Naruto then channeled lightning chakra through the shuriken and Itachi had to use the Amaterasu to burn the shuriken in order to escape Naruto's trap. Itachi grabbed his eye as his vision was getting worse by the second thanks to him having to use the Tsukuyomi and Amaterasu in a quick fashion. Naruto gathered fire chakra and then used the fire style, Crimson Earth Spider. The jutsu made its way towards Itachi quicker than he thought it would and Itachi had no choice other than to jump in the air. Once he did, however, a kunai appeared in front of him, but Naruto used the Amenotajikara to switch places with the kunai and gave Itachi a chakra-enhanced uppercut, causing him to break through the ceiling of the Uchiha hideout. While Itachi was still in the air, he quickly used the fire style, Blaze Ball. The jutsu connected and once the smoke cleared, Naruto was standing there surrounded by his Susanoo rib cage unharmed. The Susanoo. His Mangekyo has progressed to the point of mine and he clearly has his own unique ability. Itachi thought Naruto dropped the Susanoo and both men then used the fireball jutsu and Naruto was clearly winning the battle as he had a lot more chakra than Itachi. Since he was struggling to win the battle with the fireball jutsu, Itachi closed his right eye for a moment before using the flames of Amaterasu to take out Naruto's jutsu and cancel everything out. Itachi once again used the Amaterasu to try and capture Naruto in the flames, but Naruto just started to run around them. Itachi was lucky his Mangekyo was active because at Naruto's speed his basic Sharingan would not be able to keep up with his speed. While Naruto was running, the flames Amaterasu were catching up to him, so at the last split second before they could reach him, Naruto used the Amenotajikara once again to switch places with Itachi, who was not harmed by his own flames. Naruto closed his eyes thanks to the burning sensation and blood coming from it before shaking off the feeling. "Your ability is quite rare and unique. The fact that you can use it on someone like myself is quite the feat," Itachi said. "Thanks. I guess." Naruto said. He went through hand signs and used the thunderclap arrow on Itachi followed by his Moon Fong Heaven Piercer. The result of both attacks split the roof down the middle and Itachi was forced to use his own Susanoo to block the attack. Once the smoke cleared, Itachi dropped his Susanoo, but he couldn't find Naruto, who seemingly disappeared and completely hid his chakra signature. Itachi didn't have to wait long for Naruto to show himself because Itachi had to jump out of the way from multiple lightning balls courtesy of Naruto's lightning ball jutsu. After Itachi was finished dodging those attacks, Naruto was underneath the roof and used the fire style, Dragon Flame Caterwall to destroy the roof a bit, sending the jutsus into the air. "I can tell that you're getting low on chakra. The Sharingan can assess your chakra level. Your Mangekyo ability to switch places with something uses more chakra depending on the object you switch with. It must have taken up a lot of chakra for you to constantly switch places when evading the flames of my Amaterasu, but it really took a toll on you when you decided to switch with me. So stop bluffing. That last attack of yours was nothing but a tactic to try and create a small opening for your final attack. Itachi said, and then it started to thunder. You're right. That jutsu does take up a lot of chakra, but trust me when I say that I have a lot more chakra than you think I do. However, that last attack was a tactic, but it wasn't something to create an opening. My next attack lasts only an instant, but it is so fast that only my dad might be able to evade it. Similar to the flames of Amaterasu, this jutsu cannot be blocked, dodged or evaded. Naruto said, and it started to rain. So you intend to kill yourself even if it means taking me out as well. Itachi said, and Naruto just smirked. Not exactly, but since you wanted to die so badly at the hands of an Uchiha, I'll make your death a reality. It'll be quick and painless. This is my ultimate jutsu and it guides the lightning straight from the heavens themselves. All I have to do is direct its power right at you. Naruto said, he has the ability to control natural lighting? Not even the best lightning user was able to do that. Itachi thought, I hope you said your final prayers, Itachi. Now, vanish with the roar of thunder. Naruto said and transformed the lightning into a gigantic dragon. Kirin Naruto swung his hand in a downward motion and the dragon went up into the clouds before crashing down on top of the Uchiha hideout. The attack was so powerful that the shockwave could be felt for miles and miles. Anko and Temari, what the fuck was that? Anko asked, as her, Temari and Kisame were sticking themselves to the ground with their chakra to avoid getting blown away. I think that was one of Naruto's jutsus. He has a knack for creating destructive jutsus. Temari said. He just blew up a mountain with one attack. Kisame said in awe, I'd like to see Itachi walk away from that one. Anko said, he did. Something like that is powerful, but I know Itachi so he has a trick up his sleeve. Kisame said, he survived. Temari said, how do you know? Anko asked, because Naruto also survived that jutsu when he finally completed it. Both of them have something known as the ultimate defense, and if Itachi's is at the level of Naruto's or better, then I know he survived. Temari said, what the hell is that? Anko asked and pointed to a giant red humanoid figure in the distance. Naruto vs Itachi. The smoke from Naruto's jutsu cleared and Itachi was face down on the ground without his Akatsuki robe, which was destroyed in the blast. Naruto knew Itachi wasn't down for the count and he wasn't the least bit surprised when Itachi stood up surrounded by his own Susanoo, and this time it was the armored version of his Susanoo. I should have known you'd use the Susanoo to save yourself, but you clearly didn't get out of that unscathed. Naruto said, as he noticed the burn marks on Itachi's arms and his destroyed clothes, the Uchiha clan's ultimate defense. Itachi said, it lives up to its name, and I see you have the Tatsuka blade and the Yata mirror. Naruto said, and his own Susanoo started to form. No matter what you do, Naruto, with these two weapons in my possession I am undefeatable. Itachi said, that's what you think. Naruto said, as his Susanoo finished forming, and he also had a legendary weapon for his Susanoo, the cloud-gathering sword. Itachi said, that's right. In mythology this sword was used to control the winds and redirect wildfires. However, since the sword is now in my possession, I use it to control lightning. Naruto said, 3 legendary weapons in one spot at the same time. 2 of the Uchiha clan's most powerful shinobi and users of the Mangekyo Sharingan. A battle that has never happened until now. Itachi said, enough talk. Naruto said. Naruto and Itachi ran at each other, causing both of their Susanoos to collide and create a shockwave. Naruto's Susanoo would throw a fist, but Itachi blocked it with the Yata mirror and swung his Tatsuka blade as Naruto, who blocked it with his cloud-gathering sword. This continued to happen until Naruto picked up the speed and managed to knock the Yata mirror out of the hand of Itachi's Susanoo. In turn, Itachi knocked Naruto's sword out of the hands of his Susanoo, and when he went to slash Naruto's Susanoo with the Tatsuka blade, Naruto created a giant sword made from lightning to block the attack. The battle continued with both Uchiha clansmen wearing down the other's Susanoo to the point that they both lost the armor version and they were practically blind now. Itachi managed to finally break Naruto's Susanoo completely and punched him away with his Susanoo, which was just a rib cage and an arm now. Your Susanoo is gone and your Mangekyo is no longer useful to you. Like I said before, your eyes will be coming with me. This fight is over. Itachi said, as he started to walk towards Naruto, who chuckled, "You're right. This fight is over, but you're the one who lost." Naruto said and started to release all of his draconic chakra, making Itachi stop walking. "I can't move." "What did you do?" Itachi asked, as his Susanoo started to crack under the pressure. "My ace in the hole, which at the moment can only be used once during a fight. It's been fun fighting you, Itachi, but this is the end." Naruto said, as he channeled draconic chakra into his legs and jumped high into the air. Dragon fist. While he was falling out of the air, Naruto reeled his fist back as he was surrounded by a golden streak which turned into a golden dragon with red eyes and quickly made his way towards Itachi. As soon as he made contact, he effortlessly broke through Itachi's Susanoo, and then an explosion of chakra happened, causing whatever was left of the Uchiha hideout to be destroyed. The smoke cleared after a while and Naruto was standing over the body of Itachi, which had a gaping hole in his chest. Rain started to pour as Naruto's dull eyes just looked at the ground, although he couldn't see anything, and he just stood there. He collapsed right next to Itachi on the ground and struggled to catch his breath as his body was covered in cuts and bruises from their fight. After 10 minutes, Temari and Enko came flying to them on Skyrus, who was careful enough to not touch the flames of Itachi's Amaterasu, which were still burning. "Naruto!" Temari yelled, as she jumped off of Skyrus and ran to him. "Whoa! He actually did it! Look at this place! It's nothing more than a wasteland." Enko said, as she jumped off of Skyrus. "This is the result of a fight between two Sharingan users. I'm surprised more isn't damaged." Skyrus said, "That must be because of these weird flames." Enko said, "These are the flames of Amaterasu. Naruto doesn't have this ability, so my guess is they belong to Itachi. They burn anything that comes into contact with them, and since Itachi is dead, they will burn for 7 days and 7 nights before extinguishing themselves." Skyrus said, "Naruto, wake up. I know you can hear me. I can hear your heart beating." Temari said and shook him. "Not so rough." Naruto said, and she gave him a big hug that made him grunt, "You made me so worried. I thought I would have to bring you back to life and then kill you for dying on me." Temari said, and Enko walked up them. "How are you feeling?" Enko asked, as she healed him a bit. "I feel like shit." Naruto said, and she chuckled, "You look like shit." Enko said, "Come on. Let's get you back to Konoha." Temari said, "Wait. Seal his body for me." Naruto said and gave her a scroll. "Why can't you do it?" Temari asked, and he stayed silent. "He can't see." Enko said, as she noticed the dried up blood around his eyes. "Really? Naruto, open your eyes." Temari said, and he did, showing them that his eyes were dull. "Kurenai will not be happy about this." Enko said, as Temari sealed Itachi's body. "She'll get over it." Naruto said, "Come on, you two. Let's get out of here." Enko said, "Wait. Do me a favor. Throw a kunai 15 feet to your left at the ground." Naruto said, and Enko did as told, but nothing happened. What was that about? Temari asked as they helped him get on Skyrus. Something just appeared underground and it left as soon as the kunai hit. Naruto said and leaned his head on Temari's lap. "Everyone ready?" Skyrus asked. "Yes. We're going back to Konoha." Temari said, and Skyrus took off. "I wonder if the village is standing." Enko said, "I'm sure Natsumi did her job and protected the village from getting destroyed." "Right, Naruto?" Temari asked, and when they looked at him he was passed out, must be tired from his fight with Itachi. "I'd let him sleep, he earned it." Enko said, yeah. Temari said and smiled at Naruto as she messed with his hair, to think this is the same little boy I used to chase around the house to take his mask off. He's come a long way since then and I know you'd be proud of him, Sayuri. Enko thought and gave a small smile at Temari's interactions with Naruto Konoha after talking to the real Pain whose name was actually Nagato and convincing him to believe in her ways of achieving peace. Natsumi was traveling through the forest and made a memorial for Jiraiya. She returned to the village and was welcomed back to cheers from everyone in the village. Out of the crowd came Sakura who wanted to punch her, but just gave her a hug and called her an idiot. Soon enough she was in a group hug by the entire Konoha graduation class and they ended the hug when Tsunade walked up to her. Hey, Mom. I just wanted to say sorry for telling you I hated you a few months ago. I was just so angry that Pervy Sage died and I didn't know what to do. Natsumi said and Tsunade just gave her a hug. It's okay. I'm proud of you, Knucklehead, and I'm sure Jiraiya is watching over you smiling right now. Tsunade said, since I protected the village from somebody you wouldn't even be able to defeat, does that mean I can become Hokage now? Natsumi asked and Tsunade chuckled, you're still a few years off from becoming Hokage. Give it some time. Tsunade said, yes. Oh wait. Where's Naruto? Did he come back yet? Natsumi asked, no. We haven't heard anything from him, Temari or Anko yet. Tsunade said and then a roar was heard in the distance, he's back. Natsumi said and Skyrus landed in front of them, how'd it go? Tsunade asked, as Anko jumped off of Skyrus, mission complete. Anko said and tossed her the scroll with Itachi's body in it, where's Naruto? Tsunade asked, he's right here. Temari said, as she slowly got off of Skyrus helping Naruto, man Naruto. You look like shit. Natsumi said, Natsumi. Temari said, I mean sheesh. Have you seen all the cuts on your body? It's like you didn't even try to defend yourself. Natsumi said, he can't see. Enko said, oh. Ignore all of that. You look great. Natsumi said, he can't hear you. He's out cold. Temari said, I'm awake. Naruto said, can you see anything? Tsunade asked, no. My eyesight is completely gone. Naruto said, let's get him to the ER. I know he wants you or Kurenai to do the procedure, but I'll be there to overlook things. Tsunade said and an Umbu appeared behind her, Lady Tsunade. The fire daimyo is on his way here for the emergency meeting you sent for. The Umbu said, I never sent for an emergency meeting. How long until he gets here? Tsunade asked, according to the message. He'll be here in a few hours. The Umbu said, I want you to grab Shikaku and set up the tightest security around the village. We're on lockdown. If we have any visitors, take them to a holding cell and keep them there until my meeting is over. Nobody gets in and nobody gets out without proper clearance. If it's a ninja returning from a mission or the Hyuga clan returning, make sure Izomu and Kotetsu give them the proper screening before entering the village. Do you understand me? Tsunade asked, yes ma'am. The Umbu said and vanished, Shizun. Tsunade said, yes my lady? Shizun asked, you will oversee Naruto's surgery. Natsumi, Sakura, you're with me. Tsunade said, shouldn't you switch me with Shizun? Sakura asked, no. The surgery Naruto is getting is one you've never done before or learned about yet. Let's go. Tsunade said, as she left with Sakura and Natsumi, come on, Naruto. Let's get you fixed up. Anko said and vanished with Temari, man. To think the two of them just took out two S-rank criminals on their own. Choji said, it feels like it was just yesterday we were all in the academy. Natsumi was always caught doing pranks and Naruto was always late. Ino said and they laughed, they sure have gotten strong. Hinata said, I remember the first time I pissed Naruto off during our taijutsu training day. Not even my mother has kicked my ass so badly, and the worst part is that I think he took it easy on me. Kiba said, what about the time Natsumi kicked my ass because I called her tomato? That was the day I started to take things seriously. Ino said, let's not forget about the time Natsumi convinced Naruto to prank the entire school with her on her 10th birthday. Talk about thinking we were under attack. Choji said, one more thing is the fact that Naruto even fought a couple teachers who decided to pick on Natsumi for being a jinchuriki. Kiba said, well, they are brother and sister. They have each other's backs, and I'd hate to be somebody who decides to fight them at the same time. Ino said, alright everybody. Let's clear it out. Irika said, wow. Even after all these years you're still a downer. Kiba said, I'm still your superior, Kiba. Now get moving. Irika yelled and did his infamous big head jutsu hospital. So, how is he? Enko asked, as Shizun was checking. Over Naruto, he'll probably be out for a few more hours, but everything is working properly. Just make sure he keeps the bandages on for a few days. You must have been studying hard on this since you didn't actually need any help. Shizun said, I was forced to pick up on it more once Kurenai got pregnant. Enko said, any idea why he wanted to keep his old eyes? Shizun asked, I know why, but I'll keep it a secret for now. Enko said, fair enough. I have to get ready for later, so I'll see you around. Shizun said and started to walk away. Tell Genma I said I'm going to cut him. Enko said and Shizun stopped walking. How do you know? Shizun asked, please. The two of you aren't exactly secretive. That and Sakura told Ino, which is basically telling the entire village. Enko said, great. The one thing in my personal life that's fun, and I can't even enjoy that anymore. Shizun said and Enko gasped, Shizun. Were you getting off on sneaking around? You naughty girl. Enko said and Shizun turned red before running out of the room. That was disgusting. Naruto said and Enko turned around. Well, look who's finally up. Enko said, how long was I out? Naruto asked, about 4 hours. How long have you been up? Enko asked, since you mentioned Ino's name. Naruto said and sat up. Right. We weren't expecting you to be up for a few more hours. Enko said, Draconic Chakra has a healing property to it. How'd the meeting with the fire daimyo go? Naruto asked, I honestly don't even think it started yet. Enko said, you know who called for that meeting, right? Naruto asked, maybe she did while she was drunk. Enko said, it was Danzo. It's one of his ploys to claim the title as Hokage. Naruto said, I knew that. Enko said and Naruto just turned his head to her direction, did you really? Naruto asked, fuck you. How are your eyes feeling? Enko asked, normal. Naruto said, no pain? No headaches? Enko asked, nope. Naruto said and started to unwrap his bandages. Shizun said to keep those on for a few more days. Enko said, Shizun isn't here. Naruto said, true. Enko said and helped him take his bandages off. I will never take being able to see for granted. Naruto said, there are those beautiful dark blue eyes again. No dullness in sight. Test those bad boys out. I wanna see. Enko said, alright. Naruto said and activated his EMS, revealing the new pattern. Whoa. Cool. So what happens now that you got your mother's eyes? Enko asked, for one, I won't go blind anymore. Secondly, all of her Mangekyo abilities become mine on top of the ones I already had. Naruto said, so what abilities do you get from your mother? Enko asked and Naruto summoned 3 kunais before throwing them at the walls, killing 3 root umbu. One more. Naruto said and threw a kunai at a plant that turned into a dead umbu member. Okay. I wonder how they got in here. I made sure the room was secure before I put you in here. Enko said, there. Chakra was hidden, but it spiked once I was going to reveal my abilities. Naruto said and wrote them down before showing her. These are pretty impressive. Remind me to never get on your bad side. Enko said, and there was a knock on the door. Who is it? Naruto asked. It's me, Kurenai. Kurenai said, come in. Enko said and Kurenai came into the room. How are you doing? Kurenai asked, as she checked on him. I'm fine. You've gotten big. How far along are you? Naruto asked. 7 months and I'm having a girl. Kurenai said, congratulations. How does Soma take it? Naruto asked and Enko burst out laughing. He had a panic attack and couldn't find his cigarettes. Enko said, right. Where's Temari? Naruto asked. She had to go back to Suna. She has been out of the village for like 6 months now. Enko said, oh yeah. Naruto said, so, where exactly did you go besides to train with the dragons? Kurenai asked. Right now it's best that you know as little as possible. Not even Tsunade knows where I went or what I discovered. If I tell you, then the two of you will have no choice other than to report to her. You tell her, and that means she has to tell everyone, which includes Ino. Trust me, Ino is like my best friend, but telling her is like telling the entire world. Naruto said, how bad is it? Enko asked. Something even worse than the Akatsuki, and they don't even know how close they are to actually making it happen. Naruto said, should we be worried? Kurenai asked, not at the moment, but if what I hope doesn't happen does happen, I have a plan and I need to do it alone. Naruto said, if you say so. It's not like we could stop you if we tried anyway. Enko said, and he stood up. Glad we're on the same page. Naruto said, where are you going? Kurenai asked, to the meeting between Tsunade and the fire daimyo. Naruto said, you weren't invited. Enko said, who's going to fucking stop me? Naruto asked, and she wiped away a fake tear. He's growing up so fast, Kurenai. He even talks like me now. Enko said, will you stop being so dramatic? Naruto, are you sure it's wise to barge in on a meeting of that caliber? Kurenai asked, yup. Naruto said and vanished. Meeting, are meetings normally delayed this long? Sakura asked, well, Pinky. The fire daimyo is an old slow-talking and easily impressed fartbag. He probably saw an interesting tree or something on his way here. Natsumi said, please don't talk like that during the meeting. You can cost me the Hokage title. Tsunade said, Lady Tsunade, are you sure it's okay to have them here? Koharu asked, they'll be fine. Tsunade said, Sakura won't. She doesn't even want to be here. Natsumi said, well, when you put it that way it makes me sound like I have something more important to do. Sakura said, she does. She knows Shikamaru is waiting for her at her house. She wants to go and ride him. Shut up. Sakura yelled, as she covered Natsumi's mouth and screamed when Natsumi licked her hand. Don't you ever put your hand in front of my mouth, Pinky. Natsumi said, don't lick me. Sakura said, bite me. Natsumi said, and they glared at each other. It was a bad idea inviting both of them. Tsunade thought, hey, what's that smell? Natsumi asked, as she saw Danzo walk in, what smell? Sakura asked, it's the smell of desperation mixed with old fart. Oh, never mind. It's just the one-eyed old fart. Natsumi said, and Sakura couldn't keep it together. Natsumi, why? Tsunade asked, what? Natsumi asked and had an innocent look on her face, I apologize for being late. I stumbled across this fascinating tree that must have been at least 2,000 feet tall. The fire daimyo said, and Tsunade looked at Natsumi, I forgot about that tree. Natsumi mumbled, it's quite all right. Tsunade said, yes. Now, may we get on to the reason you called this meeting? The fire daimyo asked, I would love to, but I didn't call this meeting. Tsunade said, I sent the message to bring up a problem. Tsunade willingly let a rogue shinobi into the village. Danzo said, that is a serious accusation, Danzo. Do you have any evidence to back this up? The daimyo asked, I do. Naruto Uchiha has been. It's Uchiha Namikaze, you one-eyed fuck-faced old man. If you're going to talk about my brother, then get his fucking name right, old face fucker. Natsumi said, and Tsunade pinched her nose. Natsumi, not now. Tsunade said, who might you be? You seem familiar. The fire daimyo said, I'm Natsumi Uzumaki Namikaze. Oh, and I made that big-ass tree you are so fascinated by. Natsumi said, Uzumaki? You're Lady Kushina's daughter? The daimyo asked, yeah. Natsumi said, it is an honor to meet you. The daimyo said, likewise. Natsumi said in a professional voice, not a bad impression, I guess. Tsunade thought, now, this Naruto Uchiha Namikaze. Why do you call him a rogue shinobi, Danzo? The daimyo asked, according to my sources, he has been out of the village for nearly half a year with no contact, and he just so happens to be able to walk back into the village. According to the law, any shinobi gone for longer than 3 months with no contact with the council or Hokage is deemed a rogue shinobi and must be treated as such. Danzo said, that is preposterous. Koharu said, Lady Tsunade, your rebuttal? The daimyo asked, I was out finishing up my training with my summons. It took a vacation to finish up. It took me longer than I thought because of a slight detour on the way, but Tsunade knew about me being gone. She just didn't tell your old ass. You old fucker. Naruto said, H.A. Natsumi yelled and pointed at Danzo, this is why I don't like when the two of them are in the same room. Tsunade thought, training you say? Care to test your limits and see your current level? The daimyo asked, no offense, but I'm the strongest person in the village and Natsumi is a close second, but I can easily defeat her in one move. Naruto said, prove it. Natsumi said, and passed out from blood loss when he turned into a naked version of Hiroshi using her own sexy jutsu against her, told you. Naruto said, and Natsumi sprang back up, you cheated. Natsumi yelled and he just shrugged his shoulders, I must say that this is certainly a meeting I'll remember. Now, Tsunade, do you have it on file that he was out on vacation? The daimyo asked, yes. Tsunade said and unsealed his file from her arm, I see. This is quite the record you have here. Although I must ask you to do some D-rank missions as you haven't done them as a genin. The daimyo said and Naruto's eye twitched. 2 things. Number 1, and I mean this with every fiber of my body. If I even look at a D-rank mission, I will blow up the Hokage tower and bitch slap you. Number 2, if you look closely you'll see that I was never a typical genin. I was an elite genin, so I missed out on a lot of things since I mainly did C and B rank missions. Naruto said, can we please refrain from using profanity in the meeting? Koharu asked, right. Sorry. Naruto said and she nodded, oh ho. Before you were a chunin you've done quite the number of C and B rank missions. As a chunin you've done many A and S rank missions. What's this? You're responsible for the death of Orochimaru? The daimyo asked, yes, and that file is about to be updated because I killed Itachi Uchiha earlier. Tsunade has his body. Naruto said, he killed Itachi? Danzo thought and looked at Naruto who had his Sharingan activated, quite impressive. The fire daimyo said and gave the file back to Tsunade, enough of this. I wish to put in motion the removal of Tsunade from the seat of Hokage and replace her with somebody who actually knows how to protect a village. Since she's taken over we've had more spies get into the village, more random bandit attacks and Konoha has been losing money by the millions. Danzo said, is that true, Lady Tsunade? The daimyo asked, yes. However, all of those bandits never made it past the gates, the spies would get in during a small gap in shift change and Konoha has not been losing millions of dollars. I started to use it wisely and on things that actually matter. I fixed the slums of this village, built a hospital and shinobi as well as a civilian academy there for those that lived too far away from the original academy. I paid for the hospital to get new medical supplies, gave the academy more funding for better supplies, and on top of that I negotiated better trade deals with our allies. Sure, it costs us more money, but we get better products, especially from the land of spring. Do you think it was cheap to expand our village with all of the new people coming to live here since we're prospering? I said I was going to make this village something to be proud of, and damn it, that's what I'm doing. Tsunade said, very impressive. The daimyo said, I also opened my medical program, which is why we have a much higher success rate on our missions and less casualties. Naruto also played a part in this as well thanks to his medical seals he created. So excuse me for actually doing my job, Danzo. Tsunade said, I see nothing wrong with spending money the way she has. However, since it is time for your yearly checkup, I have to ask this. If you were to select a replacement as Hokage right now, who would it be? The daimyo asked. Kakashi Hatake. Tsunade said, what? Natsumi yelled, will you shut up? Let her explain. Naruto said, why Kakashi Hatake? The daimyo asked, yeah. Why? Natsumi asked, Natsumi, I get that you're disappointed, but like I told you earlier, you're still a few years off from being Hokage. Despite the times we're in, you should enjoy your youth while it lasts. Being Hokage is a big responsibility, and sometimes I'm in the office for 10 days straight before I have time to go home. You have the power, which is a given, but you lack the knowledge and experience Kakashi has. Kakashi was under 2 Hokages in his lifetime before he was your Jonin instructor. He was on your father's Genin team, and he was his personal Umbu guard. He was also Hiruzen's Umbu guard as well. Kakashi has the pedigree to take over for a few years before you become Hokage. Tsunade said, I guess you're right. Natsumi said, what about you, young Naruto? Have you ever thought about becoming Hokage? The daimyo asked, not in the slightest. Being Hokage doesn't interest me. Naruto said, so what will you do when I become Hokage? Natsumi asked, I'll be the guy to handle missions that are too dangerous for the Umbu to handle. I mean, I'm a one-man army like yourself, and I'm still growing in strength. Naruto said, I see. Now, as for your request to have Lady Tsunade removed from her position as Hokage, Danzo, I reject your request, as she has done nothing wrong. Now this meeting is over and I must get back to my home before dinner. The daimyo said and left. Take that, you old face, wrinkly skin, limp dick son of a bitch. She's still Hokage and you're not. Now go back to your hideout and drink some damn prune juice. Natsumi said, nice. Naruto said and gave her a high five as Danzo left. Thanks. Natsumi said, all right. Now, I have 3 Cloud Shinobi in a holding cell and I need to see what they want. Naruto and Natsumi, you're with me. Sakura, you can go and do whatever you want with Shikamaru. Tsunade said, Cloud Shinobi? Are you sure I've been out for only a few hours? Naruto asked, positive. Let's go. Tsunade said. Tsunade's office, sorry about the holding cell, but we just went on lockdown right before you arrived. Tsunade said, it's quite alright, Lady Tsunade. My name is Samui and the 2 behind me are Karui and Omoi. Samui said, and they bowed, nice to meet you. These are Naruto Uchiha and Natsumi Uzumaki. Tsunade said, sup. Natsumi said and Naruto stayed quiet. Now, may I know the reason Cloud Shinobi are in Konoha? Tsunade asked, certainty. The Raikage has requested a Kage summit in the land of Iron in a few days' time. Each Kage is permitted to bring 2 bodyguards with them. Will you accept the invitation? Samui asked, I'll be there. Tsunade said, hang on. Something doesn't seem right. Naruto said, what do you mean? Natsumi asked, why is the Raikage calling a Kage summit all of a sudden? Something happened that made him do this. Naruto said, the Akatsuki captured his brother the 8 Tails Jinchuriki. Samui said, so that's what this is about. This is the same Raikage that declined to help when Tsunade sent out a request to help take down the Akatsuki, and the same Raikage who didn't lift a finger when the Two Tails Jinchuriki was captured. Naruto said, "Do not disrespect the Raikage in front of me." Karui said and pointed her sword at him, "If you're going to point that sword at me, then you better be prepared to die." Naruto said from behind Karui, and she froze. How did you move so fast?" Karui asked. "Whoa. I didn't even see him move." Natsumi thought, "Incredible. That was just pure speed." Omoi thought, "Thank you for accepting the request. However, there is something else I'd like if you don't mind." Samui said, "What's that?" Tsunade asked, "Isn't okay I had a spar with Naruto?" Samui asked and Natsumi snickered, "What's so funny?" Karui asked, "She won't survive. He's the strongest person in the village. Not even our Hokage can defeat him." Natsumi said, "Surely you're joking." Samui said, "I'm not. I just took out the leader of the Akatsuki and he killed Orochimaru and Itachi Uchiha. That and the amount of S-rank missions as well as criminals he's taken out over the years would make people flee." Natsumi said, "Oh. I also killed Deidara." Naruto said, "When did you do that?" Tsunade asked, "During my vacation. It wasn't much of a fight. He really likes to run his mouth about art and I just cut his head off." Naruto said and everyone just looked at him, "Why are you just now saying something?" Tsunade asked, "It slipped my mind." Naruto said and looked at Samui who flinched under his gaze, "I don't believe you." Karui said, "I don't care. So, Samui, do you still want that spar? It'll be over before you even flinch." Naruto said, "We're leaving, Karui and Omoi. Once again we'll see you at the Kage summit." Samui said and they left, "We have a few days and the two of you are coming as my guards. Make sure your stuff is packed." Tsunade said, "I'll have Comet take us." Naruto said, "Great." Dismissed. Tsunade said and they vanished. Pain was dead. Itachi was dead and now Naruto revealed that Deidara was dead. 3 more members of the Akatsuki are down and now Tsunade has to deal with all of the Kages gathered in one spot. With the threat of the Akatsuki still lurking around and having numerous tailed beasts in their possession, now would be the time for each Kage to come together in order to stop the Akatsuki for good. It's been a few days since Natsumi defeated Pain and Naruto defeated Itachi. Word got around about their actions against the Akatsuki and it put smaller villages on edge as well as some of the larger villages. IWA personally sent a message threatening Konoha that if Natsumi or Naruto did anything to harm their village that it would result in extreme consequences. Natsumi wanted to go fight the Tsuchikage, but Naruto just put her to sleep with a Sharingan Genjutsu because she was giving him a nasty headache with her constant yelling. The village was still on lockdown, but they were a bit relaxed on Shinobi returning from a mission. After the entire fight with Nagato, Natsumi finally got the respect in the village that she rightfully deserved and earned. She was the big name in the village and kids came up to her asking for an autograph which she happily gave them. Naruto, who was a big name in the village, also had people who admired him, but they did so from a distance since most people felt like only a select few people could walk up to him and talk to him. He had a huge group of fangirls, but none of them dared to treat him how Sasuke was treated by his since it was a known fact that he was dating Temari and nobody wanted to explain why they were all up touching her boyfriend. Naruto and Natsumi were currently on their way to Iron Country for the Kage summit with Tsunade, but Naruto was distracted. Kagaya Otsutsuki. Even after killing your lover and having children, you remained on Earth. What was the purpose of you staying here instead of going back to your home? Naruto thought, hey. Fish cake. Natsumi said, huh? Naruto asked, sheesh. We've been calling your name for hours. What's going on in that head of yours? Natsumi asked, nothing. Naruto said, it doesn't seem that way. You've been like that ever since we left Konoha. Tsunade said, I'm fine. Really? You don't have to worry about anything. Naruto said, if you say so. Now, I want to go over a few rules for this meeting, and this particularly goes for you, Natsumi. Tsunade said, why me? Natsumi asked, because you're a hothead and you still have a loose temper. This meeting will be intense and filled with a lot of insults being thrown. Keep your composure and don't attack or do anything stupid unless I signal you to do so. Naruto, you too have a tendency to mouth off at the wrong time, but I'm sure you know how to handle yourself in a meeting and I trust you'll be on your best behavior. No doubt that the Raikage and Tsuchikage already know your heritage, so don't be surprised if they start talking about your family. Just let me handle everything and this will end smoothly. Tsunade said, fine. Natsumi said, your fingers are crossed. Naruto said, and Natsumi gasped, how'd you know? Natsumi asked and uncrossed her fingers. Natsumi, this is serious. If you can't control yourself in this kind of meeting, then you'll just hurt your chances of becoming Hokage, and I know you don't want that. Tsunade said, I got it. I got it. Natsumi said, I want both of you to keep your sensing abilities on high alert for Danzo or anything suspicious. All 5 Kage will be present in one place, so this gives him the perfect time to try and kill either one of us. If he attacks, Naruto will be the one to handle him. Tsunade said, why can't I fight him? Natsumi asked, because Danzo has a Sharingan eye and we can't take the risk of him trying to control you for the 9 tails. He also possesses Hashirama Senju DNA, so he has the potential to utilize wood-style ninjutsu as well. Naruto said, I can use wood-style ninjutsu as well. Natsumi said, yes, but I'm pretty sure he knows techniques to restrain you. I'll take Danzo on and you can take out the Rudumbu. Naruto said, fine. Hey, look at that. Natsumi said and pointed to the ground, is that an avalanche? Tsunade asked, as she saw snow falling at a rapid pace and Naruto activated his Sharingan. No. That's Gaara, Kankuro and Temari. Comet, go down to them. Naruto said, sure thing. Comet said, as he flew next to them, hey, guys. Want a lift? Natsumi asked, sure. Temari said, and they hopped on Comet. Temari, why didn't you summon Skyrus to take you to Iron Country? Naruto asked, she was put in charge of watching the new hatchlings apparently and we had to walk. Temari said, Gaara, I take it that you received the same invitation from the Raikage. Tsunade said, yes. Do you know what it's about? Gaara asked, I have a theory. His brother was supposedly captured and he's angry now. Naruto said, you think he's looking for an outlet to make himself look like he's not responsible for this? Kankuro asked, it does make sense. The Raikage is a prideful man and his ego won't allow him to accept that he was wrong or had any kind of fault in this. Tsunade said, while the Raikage will be pointing the blame, I'm sure he will make some interesting points. Temari said, what do you mean? Natsumi asked, so far out of all the members of the Akatsuki, none of them are from the Land of Lightning. Konoha, Suna, Kiri and Iwa all have members from their ranks in the Akatsuki or had members in the Akatsuki since some of them are dead. That's his only point he can really make though. Temari said, let me and Gaara handle that. Right now our only ally is the Mizukage. They might try to use that against us, but we'll be fine. Tsunade said, it's funny how the Raikage of all people decided to call this summit. This is something you'd call for, Lady Tsunade. Kankuro said, well, his brother has gone missing so it's clear why he's finally getting involved. Tsunade said, hey, Naruto. Temari whispered, what's up? Naruto asked, have you told Tsunade about what we found? Temari whispered, no. Naruto admitted. Temari sighed and wrapped her arms around him to pull him closer, ignoring the teasing look Natsumi was giving her at the moment. You have to tell her. This stuff is huge and could persuade the other Kages to help us. Temari whispered, we also run the risk of not getting any help. I'll tell her after the summit is over with, but until then we will keep this to ourselves. Naruto said, what about Gaara? Temari asked, same goes for him. Naruto said, what are you two lovebirds whispering about? Natsumi asked, about how you still can't beat Naruto in a fight. Temari teased and Natsumi's eye started to twitch, I can beat him. Natsumi growled, oh. Looks like the little fox is mad. Temari said, that's it. Me and you. Right here. Right now. Let's go. Natsumi said and stood up, you might want to sit down. If you fall off, Comet isn't responsible for you, so I doubt he'll try to catch you. Naruto warned, Comet, you'll catch me, right? Natsumi asked, are you a dragon summoner? Comet asked, no. Natsumi mumbled, there's your answer. Comet replied, that's not fair. Natsumi said and smacked Comet on his back, hey. Comet said, relax, Comet. Naruto said and Comet blew smoke out his nose, stupid redheads. That's why I like Temari better. Comet mumbled, how big are you? Tsunade asked, I'm about 300 meters long. I'll probably grow another 100 meters before I reach full growth. Comet said, you're not finished growing? Kankuro asked, no. I'm bigger than the boss of the dragons and nearly the size of the elder dragon Ra. Comet said, we're here. Naruto said, as he was looking at the ground beneath them, and Comet landed on the ground, all right. Thank you for flying Air Comet. If you need me to pick you up, don't need me. Comet told them and went up in smoke. The two Kages and their bodyguards made their way to the meeting point. Tsunade had her official hat on and kept taking glances at Natsumi to make sure she was behaving. After a few minutes of walking, they finally arrived at the building where the meeting would be held. Each of the 5 Kages sat around a table while their guards were up top, and Lord Mifune walked in with his own samurai following him. Natsumi looked at Naruto, who had his Sharingan activated, and his eyes were rapidly moving around. She closed her eyes and began gathering nature chakra to enter sage mode. They were well aware of what was going on in the meetings, but they were checking their surroundings, and Natsumi felt a large group of chakra signatures coming towards Iron Country. Naruto. Natsumi whispered, I know. Naruto replied, what do we do? Natsumi asked, we wait. I'll take Danzo and you can help the 5 Kages with his Umbu. Feels like he has a lot of them with him. Naruto said, I feel over 200 chakra signatures surrounding a large one that feels tainted. Natsumi said, tainted? How? Naruto asked, his chakra feels like yours and Mom's chakra, but not quite. Almost as if it wasn't originally in his body. Natsumi asked, well, I do know he has a Sharingan in his eye socket, but I'm not too sure about why his chakra feels like Tsunade's. Naruto said, enough of this nonsense. This yell came from the 4th Raikage, who was pissed off at how the current meeting was going on and punched a hole in the desk. This led to all of the bodyguards from each Kage to jump into action except for Natsumi and Naruto, who didn't move due to Tsunade signaling them not to do anything. Mifune just looked around before letting out a deep sigh. This summit is a place of discourse, so please refrain from any more behavior that lacks civility. Mifune said, Kankuro, Temari. Stand down. Gaara orders and his siblings nod. Ao, Chojuro. It's all right. Mei calmly said, yes ma'am. Ao responded that Tsuchikage just nodded his head at his guards while he pulled his arm out of the desk and begrudgingly took a seat. Now, let's continue our discussion. Mifune said, the hidden leaf, the stone, the sand, and the midst. The Akatsuki membership is composed of rogue shinobi from your villages. That's not all either. From our investigations, we know that among you and the earlier Kage there are those who have even used the Akatsuki. Said, the Kage used them? Gaara asked, that's why I don't trust any of you. I have no interest in any discourse, but the reason I summoned you all here is to ultimately question your loyalties. A exclaimed, what do you mean that they used the Akatsuki? Gaara questioned, you were the son of the Kazekage and you don't know anything? Just ask your village elders back home. You of the sand have previously used the Akatsuki in battle. A responded, currently, all 5 great nations are equally stable. They are moving from military expansion to disarmament. As strained as relations are between the nations and the threat of war diminishes, hidden villages considered military power by their nations merely become costly hindrances, and yet at the same time, completely eliminating such villages has shown risks as well. However, if war suddenly breaks out, relying on ninja with no battle experience would be problematic. You'd lose the battle without question. Anoki explained, the Kage would realize that one way to avoid that risk is to use mercenary soldiers. Namely soldiers from the Akatsuki. Gaara added, it takes effort and money to cultivate accomplished ninja from within one's own hidden village. The Akatsuki makes war its livelihood and is made up of experienced professionals. Furthermore, they can be hired quite cheaply. Best of all, their soldiers have always delivered superior results. Anoki said, don't be pompous Tsuchikage. The sand once used the Akatsuki to destroy the hidden leaf. I'm talking about Orochimaru, who had already left the Akatsuki by then, but as a result, your father, the 4th Kazekage and the 3rd Hokage, Hiruzen, perished. It's also hard to dismiss the thought that this was part of an even larger plan. The most suspicious of them all is the hidden mist. The mist never engages in diplomacy, and it's rumored that the Akatsuki started there. A said, you're wrong. Tsunade said, excuse me? A asked, the Akatsuki didn't start in the hidden mist village. Tsunade said, how would you know that? A asked, the leader of the Akatsuki was an old student of the late Jiraiya who took in 3 orphans during the Second Shinobi War. The Akatsuki started in the Hidden Rain village and somehow managed to enter the Hidden Mist village. Tsunade said, why should I take your word? It's no secret that Konoha helped the Mist end their bloody civil war. A said, you should take my word considering the fact that 3 of my shinobi are responsible for the deaths of quite a few members of the Akatsuki. In fact, 2 of them are my personal guards. Tsunade said she signaled for them, making Naruto and Natsumi appear behind Tsunade. I'd like to introduce you all to Naruto Uchiha Namikaze and Natsumi Uzumaki Namikaze. Naruto himself has killed Itachi Uchiha, Deidara and Orochimaru. Natsumi has killed Sasori of the Red Sand, Kakuzu and the leader of the Akatsuki, Pain. In fact, despite me sending out warnings to all villages, only Suna and the Hidden Mist village took me seriously. We were able to prevent Gaara from losing his tailed beast. Tsunade said, since it's come to this, I'll be honest. We suspect that somebody behind the scenes was secretly manipulating Yagura, the man who was the Mizukage before I took over. There's a possibility that that someone is the Akatsuki. Furthermore, it was the right move to go to Konoha for help since it was discovered by Naruto that they were secretly being supplied by Danzo Shimura of the Hidden Leaf Village. Mei admitted, sending spies into the mist is grounds for war. A said, oh, sit down. Lady Tsunade didn't even know about that until Naruto sent word back to Tsunade. Natsumi said, thank you, Natsumi. Danzo has been operating in the shadows ever since the first reign of the 3rd Hokage, and we could never prove it due to a lack of evidence. Whenever his men are killed, they burst into flames, destroying all traces of them ever being there. However, Danzo did not expect Konoha to aid the Hidden Mist in ending their civil war. Tsunade said, yet another rogue shinobi from Konoha. A said, yes. Which brings me to my next point. Danzo may try to ambush us here at the summit. Tsunade said, what? A asked, you heard me, and as a token of good faith, I'd appreciate it if you all would help me in ending his life and his army of Umbu soldiers at his disposal. Tsunade said, why should we help the Hidden Leaf? A asked, consider it payback for trying to kidnap Hinata Hyuga 13 years ago. Tsunade said, Kankuro, Tamari. When they arrive, we will aid Konoha in battle. Gaara said, "Ao, Chojuro. We're helping as well." Mei added before anything else could be said. Naruto unsealed his sword and blocked an attack aimed at Tsunade. The root umbu that attacked Tsunade had his head removed from his shoulders and went up in flames. "Naruto, your orders are simple. Find Danzo and end his life." Tsunade said, "I'm on it." Naruto replied and vanished. "Natsumi, how many are there?" Tsunade asked. "Over 200. They're surrounding the village." Natsumi answered, "Lord Mifune, I hate that it has come to this, but do you have anywhere the civilians can hide while we fight?" Tsunade asked, "Of course." Mifune said, "Natsumi, create as many clones as you can and have them evacuate the civilians. I want the real you next to me during the fight." Tsunade said, "You got it." Natsumi replied and left Samurai Bridge. After leaving the 5 Kage summit, Naruto went searching for the largest chakra signature amongst the incoming chakra signatures and waited for it to arrive. He sat atop the Samurai Bridge until he felt 3 chakra signatures in front of him, including the strongest one of them all. "So, you're here, Naruto Uchiha. This is just perfect." Danzo said. Danzo began unwrapping his injured arm, revealing a pale skin arm made up of Hashirama DNA, and implanted Sharingan on his arm. "Listen, Naruto. I'm going to take your Sharingan and add them to my collection," Danzo said, taking eyes from the Uchiha massacre. "I honestly should thank Karen for raiding Orochimaru's base with me. She knew exactly where to go for some important files." Naruto said, "Fu, Toryun. Deal with him." Danzo ordered. Before they could even move, both of their heads were removed from their shoulders and Danzo jumped back, narrowing his visible eye since he didn't see Naruto move from his spot. "That takes care of those two," Naruto said. Danzo went through a few hand signs before taking off at what he assumed were blinding speeds and punched Naruto, only to get met by the rib cage of his Susanoo. Before Danzo could jump back, he was grabbed by the hand of the Susanoo. "I told you a decade ago that you'd regret sending your Umbu guards after me, and I intend to keep my promise," Naruto said. Muscles began to grow on the body of his Susanoo, and not before long, Danzo was squeezed to a pulp, but his body reappeared behind Naruto, who wasn't surprised in the slightest. "Next, let's battle with our eyes," Danzo said. Danzo quickly made a kunai appear in his hand and tried to stab Naruto through his Susanoo. Of course it didn't work since the kunai broke and Danzo didn't show any emotion. "Just as I thought. The Susanoo. That splendid armor to protect yourself with." Danzo said. He was smashed into the ground, but once again he reappeared on top of the Samurai Bridge completely unharmed. "The power in its attack is impressive as well," Danzo said. Amaterasu Danzo suddenly burst into black flames due to Naruto's Sharingan ability, and of course Danzo reappeared unharmed. Danzo went through hand signs and used the wind style, vacuum bullet. Naruto dodged every single one of them before countering with the fireball jutsu, and Danzo was forced to jump out of the way. Unrivaled speed, excellent reflexes, and 3 Manjikyu abilities in rapid fashion. "You definitely are the son of Konoha's Yellow Flash and Sayuri Uchiha," Danzo said. He then dropped down to a knee when he felt the wind get knocked out of him, courtesy from Naruto's fist being embedded into his stomach. "Yet you still try to fight me knowing you're outmatched," Naruto said. He quickly jumped away when Danzo used the wind style, vacuum blast, in an attempt to catch him off guard, but like he said, Naruto's speed was unrivaled. It was almost like he was predicting his moves before he even made them. Naruto then broke apart into tiny little dragons that began flying around until Danzo saw Sayuri standing behind him. "Sayuri?" he questioned. Danzo quickly realized he was under a genjutsu and broke it before jumping away to create some distance. He was then met with Naruto's armored version of his Susanoo aiming right at him before firing off an attack. Not being able to weave jutsu signs in time, Danzo used his arm with Hashirama's DNA to use wood style in order to avoid being killed again. The cells of Hashirama Senju. No wonder your body is able to handle so many Sharingan eyes. Your chakra took a deep plunge to use this jutsu. You should have let me kill you and used the Izanagi to revive yourself. Naruto said, and Danzo's eye widened. You knew. Danzo said, I knew the moment you reappeared the first time. Did you honestly think you could beat an Uchiha using his own clan techniques? Your ego is showing. Even with all of those Sharingan eyes and Shursues in your eye socket, you'll never be able to use it to its full capacity. The strain on your body right now is still effective despite you countering it with Hashirama Senju's DNA. You're at my mercy now. Naruto said. He fired off another shot from his Susanoo and Danzo was hit, but he reappeared using the Izanagi. Danzo ran at Naruto again and was stabbed again only to reappear once more. Naruto just sighed as it was getting a bit annoying. Fighting that Susanoo won't be easy either. His arrow attack is hard to dodge and I can't do Izanagi yet. I have to finish things this minute. Danzo thought. He wiped some blood onto his finger and used the summoning jutsu to bring out his Baku, which was a gigantic elephantine chimera which towers over Naruto's armored Susanoo. Granted, Naruto was only using the upper body of his Susanoo right now, but the size of Danzo's summons was impressive. The Baku began inhaling everything in its path, rendering the Susanoo immobile, giving Danzo an opening to attack from behind, or so he thought. Naruto used the Great Dragon Flame Jutsu to stop the Baku and then used his Susanoo to punch Danzo into a pillar, forcing him to use the Izanagi again. 4 minutes. Naruto said, what was that? Danzo asked, that's how long your jutsu lasts. It makes your attack successful while rendering all of mine ineffective. That means you have 16 minutes left, but given the way this fight is going, you're not lasting 16 minutes. Naruto said. Naruto dropped the Susanoo and disappeared from sight. Danzo was on edge since he wasn't used to Naruto's moves. Typically when a ninja disappears, they would want to hide their chakra, but Naruto's chakra was felt all over the place so he could attack from any angle he wanted to. He was hiding in plain sight and Danzo was stabbed through the back with Naruto's sword only to reappear with the Izanagi. Had I known he would be this strong, would have taken him at birth. Danzo thought, you must be getting desperate, Danzo. Naruto's voice echoed around the entire bridge area. Desperate, you say? How? Danzo asked. He wanted to keep Naruto talking so he could find his exact location. Attacking the 5 Kage summit. A man as smart as yourself should have known the odds weren't in your favor. 5 Kages, 2 Kage level Shinobi and Lord Mifune as well. Bringing hundreds of root umbu here was a bad call. Natsumi and I were able to sense you all coming miles away. Naruto told him, sometimes you must act brash to get desired results. Danzo replied, how's that going for you? Since you weren't able to make sure the Akatsuki destroyed Konoha, your plans became rushed. You've ruined your body to control the 9 tails when in fact you didn't have to do that. Instead of enticing the village to harm Natsumi as a child, you could have simply went up to her as an old man trying to help and slowly sank your claws into her. The 3rd Hokage wouldn't have noticed and possibly could have brushed it off as her being fed up with the hideous treatment of the villagers. Naruto said, and Danzo narrowed his eye, why are you telling me this? Danzo questioned, I'm telling you this because eventually you'll run out of time using the Izanagi, and when you take your final breath, I want you to realize how much of a failure you really are. Growing up, Hiruzen has always had such high praise for your efforts during the first Shinobi War. I know the story about how he became Hokage and not much has changed between then and now. Hiruzen was willing to sacrifice himself for the village during the first Shinobi War in order for Lord Second to walk away the victor, and that's the kind of person who deserves to be Hokage. Not somebody who hesitates when things get rough. A moment's hesitation can lead to one's death and become the turning point in an important battle. Naruto said, then why isn't Tsunade here to fight me? Danzo asked, that's because you've been at the top of my shit list since the moment my mother died. Poisoning her after she gave birth to me is something that solidified me killing you. Lady Tsunade is with everyone else as we speak, fighting off and potentially killing all of your root umbu. For Kages, 9 bodyguards in which one of them is a Kage-level shinobi, Lord Mifune and an entire army of samurai. This is the end of your pathetic life. Naruto said. Naruto appeared behind Danzo and shocked him with the electromagnetic murder before kicking him away. 3 kunai went flying at Danzo and stabbed him in 3 vital spots, but Danzo once again used the Izanagi. Naruto used his lightning manipulation to create a sword of pure lightning chakra as Danzo coated a chakra blade in wind chakra. They ran at one another with the intention of finishing the fight and stabbed one another through the chest. You were too hasty. My last eye is still open. You should have been on my side. You could have seen all the good it would have done for you. I win, Naruto. You may think that you saw through my Izanagi, but... Danzo said, what? What is this? Why won't the Izanagi activate? Danzo thought, you're finished. Naruto said he faded out of sight and Danzo saw the very same lightning sword sticking through his chest from behind. Naruto's subtlety placed him under a genjutsu to make him think he still had one more Izanagi left. You insolent boy. Danzo said, did you really think you could stand a chance against me? I have been using the Sharingan since I was 5 years old and I've worked till exhaustion took over on perfecting it. Meanwhile, you only stole your Sharingan eye and implanted them into your body. Naruto said. Danzo's body started to break down due to his declining health and his Hashirama Senju arm began to spread out into a gigantic tree, forcing Danzo to break off to avoid being taken over. Danzo stood up and unwrapped his right eye, revealing one last Sharingan that Naruto already knew about. No. This is where we battle with our eyes. Danzo said, even with that eye, you still couldn't detect that something was wrong. You must have used up its visual prowess sometime and the time limit hasn't gone up yet. Naruto said, what does that mean? Danzo asked and Naruto held up his palm revealing a Sharingan eye. I believe the person this belongs to is already dead. Naruto told him and burned the eye with his Amaterasu eye. Impossible. Danzo said, not impossible. Let me tell you a little secret that not many people know. My lineage comes directly from Madara Uchiha himself. He had a child in secret and his direct bloodline continued all the way down to myself. I have the most powerful Sharingan in Uchiha history. You lost this battle the moment I was born. Naruto said. Danzo tried to run away, which made Naruto sigh as he began walking after him. He followed Danzo's bloody footsteps, slowly catching up to him. Danzo eventually collapsed to the ground as his wounds became too much for him to handle. You're going to die. However, I'll leave you with some hope. The Hidden Leaf Village will not fall. The current generation of shinobi will carry on the will of fire and defend the village. You were so stuck into your own twisted world of ruling the village that you turned it into a personal fight with Lord Third. I'll take care of the leaf along with Natsumi. Naruto said. Danzo didn't say anything. He just snatched open the top part of his torn robe and activated a reverse tetragram seal on his body. Not too long after, the seal exploded and Danzo was no more. Meeting hall. Scorch marks, busted walls and 9 of the best shinobi alive were gathered back inside of the meeting hall. There weren't any casualties on their end, but the Raikage lost an arm from a lucky move by the extremely dangerous Root Umbu if you were to ask him. He was too prideful to admit that a few Root Umbu managed to get one over on him. Well, that's over with. Natsumi said, how did Danzo manage to gather so many shinobi to his side? Anoki asked. For years Danzo has been in connection with Orochimaru behind Konoha's back. For the last 4 decades or so, Danzo has been kidnapping children from orphanages all over the nations and turning them into his own mindless army. Tsunade said, why didn't Lord Third do something about it? Mei asked. He couldn't. You've all seen what happens to the bodies of his umbu. They go up in flames and he's very good at not leaving a paper trail. I just recently discovered this when Naruto and Natsumi went to kill Orochimaru. Tsunade said, where is he anyway? Gaara asked, he's on his way. Natsumi told him, is Danzo with him? Tsunade asked, no. It's just him. I don't even feel Danzo's chakra anymore. Natsumi said, good. Tsunade said, seems as if I missed the party. Said, who's there? Demanded a swirling vortex was shown and out came Tobi, who Naruto has already fought. My name is Madara Uchiha. I am here to explain something to you all, and once you understand it, I'll ask you a question. Tobi said, what is it? A asked, it's about my plan. Project Tsuki no Mi. Tobi said, I've heard of that before, but from where? Temari thought I wasn't having any of that and went to attack Tobi, but he just went straight through him. What? A said to himself, just calm down, Raikage. Let's hear him out and take it from there. Anoki said, are all of you finally prepared to listen? Tobi asked, just get on with it. Tsunade said, it seems I miscalculated. I was hoping Danzo would be able to weaken some of the 5 Kage and I could take some of you hostage, but I guess that was too much to ask of him. Tobi said, take us hostage? What for? Mei asked, to ensure that Project Tsuki no Mi was implemented smoothly. Tobi responded, I'm truly surprised that Madara Uchiha is still alive, but I'm confused. Why do you of all people need such roundabout tactics? With all your power, you should be able to bring any plan to fruition easily. Anoki said, my injuries from my battle with the first Hokage Hashirama were too severe. I currently have little power. I'm a shell of my former self. Tobi explained, oh, I get it. This plan of yours is to restore your power. See, the bodyguard of A said, I suppose you could say that, but there's so much more to it. Tobi said, what exactly is this Project Tsuki no Mi? Mifune questioned, it'll be a long story, so I'll need to sit down. Tobi said and actually took a seat, stop messing around. What kind of plan is it? Kankuro asked, all shall become one with me. In a possession form that unites all. There's an ancient stone tablet passed down within the Uchiha clan. It's in a room below the leaf. Upon it are written secrets engraved by the Sage of 6 Paths himself, but they cannot be read without visual powers. With the Sharingan, Mangekyo Sharingan and Rinnegan respectively, more and more knowledge is progressively revealed. Tobi said, your story is becoming more and more unbelievable. The Sage of the 6 Paths is a myth. Anoki said, it is the truth. He did indeed exist and he left that stone tablet behind. Tobi said, stop changing subjects. What does this Sage of the 6 Paths have to do with your plan anyway? A asked, do any of you know why he became a legendary figure? One that is revered as a god amongst shinobi. This is where the link between that man and my purposes lies. Tobi said, Madara Uchiha. You possess the Mangekyo Sharingan and one of your fellow Akatsuki members possessed the Rinnegan. Do you know all of the tablet's secrets then? Mei asked, yes. Let's hear them. Anoki said, the sage once saved the world from a certain monster. Tobi said, what monster? Gaara asked, Gaara, you currently hold one small piece of that monster sealed away within you. It was the aggregate of all of the tailed beasts. A creature that possessed almost infinite chakra. The 10 tails. Tobi said, I thought there were only 9 tailed beasts. Temari said, I just told you. It was the aggregate of all of the tailed beasts. The 10 tails chakra was simply divided up to create the 9 tailed beasts that we know today by the Sage of the 6 Paths hand. Tobi said, I really don't like where this is going. That's why the Akatsuki were out collecting all of the tailed beasts. Kankuro said, where's Naruto at? This could all be useful to him. Temari thought, the Sage of the 6 Paths developed a certain ninjutsu in order to protect the world from the 10 tails, that ninjutsu is still being secretly passed down. It is the sealing jutsu process for jinchuriki. Yes, the sage was the 10 tails jinchuriki. He sealed the 10 tails within himself to suppress the monster. The sage who saved humanity from being terrorized by the beast was revered as a savior and as a god, but the sage feared that upon his death, the seal would come undone and the 10 tails' immense chakra would re-emerge. So in his final moments, using the last of his strength to partition the 10 tails chakra into 9 pieces and scatter them across the world. Then he sealed away the body of the monster now depleted of chakra and hurled it up into the sky. It became the moon. Toby said, "This tale is ridiculous. I mean, what human being could do something like that?" Darui asked, "That's because the sage of the 6 paths wasn't completely human. Kaguya was from another world." Temari thought, as the 10 tails jinchuriki, the sage had already advanced beyond the realm of humanity. Toby said, "I understand you want to collect all of the 9-tailed beast chakra, but what do you plan to do with it?" Tsunade asked, "Revive the 10 tails of course and become the 10 tails jinchuriki. I would then use its tremendous chakra to strengthen my visual prowess and launch a certain jutsu." Toby said, "What certain jutsu?" Anoki asked, "A super genjutsu where I project my eye off the moon's surface. An infinite Tsukuyomi. All humans living on this earth will be placed under my genjutsu and as a result, by controlling each and every one of them, I will unify the entire world. I will create a world without hatred or war. Everything will become one with me. Everything will be united. That is Project Tsuki no Mi." Toby revealed, "You're insane. I'm not just handing the world over to you." I said, "That kind of peace is just an illusion. Peace is only meaningful if it's achieved honestly." Gaara said, "So what exists inside such a genjutsu world?" "There's no hope, no dreams. It's just an escape." Mei said, "You want to unite the whole world, huh? Sounds like instead of uniting the world, you want to make the world yours and only yours." Anoki said, "Yet, with all of your talk, what have you 5 Kage accomplished? You of all people should know the truth by now. There is no hope. To hope is the equivalent to giving up and it is the biggest deception of them all. Now, turn over the remaining 8 and 9 tails. Cooperate with my plan or this is war." Toby said, "War you say?" Gaara asked, 8 tails? What do you mean? You captured B. I said, the 8 tails capture failed and he escaped. Now, there's a shinobi who's a perfect jinchuriki. There's no one quite like your younger brother. Toby said and they started to go off, but he was ignored. "I won't give up Natsumi." Gaara said, "Neither will I." Mei said, "What about you, Raikage?" Anoki asked, "I'll never hand over my brother." A exclaimed and Natsumi who was just listening to everything finally spoke up, "Yeah you prickly-haired, orange mask-wearing fuck. Fuck you." Natsumi said, "I may not have any strength, but I do have the power of the 6-tailed beasts that I've collected. You have no chance of winning." Toby said, "We won't abandon hope." Gaara said, "Very well. I hereby declare war. The 4th Great Ninja War begins now." Toby said, "What? You're starting the 4th Great Ninja War now? Are you mad?" Anoki asked, "The next time we meet will be in battle." Toby said and left in his typical fashion, "All right, then. What should we do now?" Anoki asked, "Our nations must form an alliance. It's the only way to fight the power of 6-tailed beasts." Gaara said, "Lord Raikage, you oppose this idea." Mei said, "It seems my little brother is safe, but we cannot allow ourselves to be bullied by the Akatsuki anymore. Form the alliance and we'll settle this for good." I said, "In order to stop Madara's Project Infinite Tsuki no Mi, we must keep the 8 and 9 tails out of his clutches. I believe it is imperative to get them into hiding as fast as we can." Mei said, "That's absolutely right. If the 10 tails were revived, we'd be done for." Chojuro said, yeah. I can't even imagine the power Madara had amassed with six-tailed beasts, and if he possesses jutsu that utilizes them, that would be a secret weapon. Inoki said, I agree. Otherwise he wouldn't have been so bold. Akatsuchi said, I believe the allied shinobi forces must blend to use the strength of the 8 and 9 tails. Don't you all agree with that? Inoki asked, no. Absolutely not. This is also a war to protect both of them. I think the reason that Madara is waging war with his six-tailed beasts is because in his weakened state, it is too difficult for him to capture the 8 and 9 tails with the remaining Akatsuki members. Even if it was possible, the risks are too high. Also, he may be hoping to lure the two out with this war. For many reasons, using the tailed beasts in battle is not a wise strategy. Gaara said, I agree. We must find a different plan. Mei said, yes. I also agree with the Kazekage. A said, absolutely the fuck not. Natsumi yelled, Natsumi, calm down. Tsunade said, hell no. You honestly think I'm going to go into hiding just because the rest of you are a bunch of pussies? No. I'm fighting. The Akatsuki have taken too much from me. First my parents, then the old man, and then Pervy Sage. I am fighting and none of you will stop me. Natsumi said, you have to understand. Natsumi cut Mei off, no. You have to understand. This fight needs me, and deep down you all know it. I didn't train for my entire life just to be cast aside and put away like some damsel in distress. I am a Kage-level shinobi without the 9 tails chakra. I can handle my own against anybody in this room. Natsumi said, you'd be falling right into Madara's hands. Do you not understand that? Mei asked, of course I understand it. Here's another reason why you should want me on the battlefield. Natsumi said and did a few hand signs with style. Wood clone jutsu. A perfect wood clone appeared from Natsumi's body, shocking everyone in the room, minus Tsunade, who was just listening to Natsumi go on her rant. The wood Kekii Genkai. Mei said in awe, my word. I never thought I'd see this. Inoki said, I'm fighting. I don't care who I have to go through, nobody is stopping me from ending the Akatsuki once and for all. Natsumi said, and Naruto appeared. Wow. You guys certainly are up in arms. Naruto said, Naruto. Tell them I'm fighting. Natsumi said, we all know you're fighting. Let's be honest, do any of you honestly think you can hold her back for long? It would take a Kage-level shinobi to even have a chance to hold her back. She'll break out of wherever you trap her and head straight for the battlefield. Naruto said, see. He agrees. Natsumi said, I don't think you understand. We're going up against Madara Uchiha. The power he possesses is immense. Inoki said, he's not Madara Uchiha. Naruto said, what? A asked, how do you know that? Tsunade asked, because there's no similarity in our chakra signatures. Tsunade can attest to this. Chakra signatures are sort of like DNA amongst family members. Madara had a child in secret and that continued his bloodline. He would be considered my great-great-great-grandfather if he was truly alive. This guy may not be Madara, but he is no joke. Naruto said, if you're related to Madara, then you must know about the Uchiha stone tablet. Darui said, yeah, I know about it. He's a fool for following that tablet. Whatever he thinks will happen won't. Naruto said, explain. Tsunade ordered, the stone tablet has been tampered with quite a bit. Every time I would look at it growing up, the wording was different. One of my Mangekyo abilities wasn't on the tablet since it was unknown, but a few years later, it magically appeared on the tablet. Someone or something has been messing with that tablet, and trust me, whoever this guy is, he's about to awaken something even worse than the 10 tails. Naruto said, worse than the 10 tails? What could be worse than that? Mei asked, you might as well tell them. Temari said, the Sage of the Six Paths Mother is worse than the 10 tails. She is the original user of chakra on Earth and she's the one sealed inside of the moon. If this fake Madara actually gathers the chakra from all tailed beasts, we'll be in for the fight of our lives. Naruto said, wait. How do you know all of this? Tsunade asked, I discovered this by talking to some of the tailed beasts and my trip to the land of ancestors with Temari revealed some of this information. Your brother is able to use the 8 tails chakra to its full extent, right? Naruto asked, yeah. What of it? Asked, Natsumi will be a vital piece to the war, so instead of just locking her away, have your brother train her to use the 9 tails chakra properly. If she can properly use the 9 tails chakra, that would be a huge advantage for us against this fake Madara and the other tailed beasts. That way we'll have 3 full users of tailed beast chakra. Gaara, your brother and Natsumi. Naruto said, there are 6 tailed beasts we're up against. Inoki said, if it really comes down to it, I'll take control of 1 or 2 tailed beasts if possible and use them to our advantage. Naruto said, you can do that? Mei asked, yeah. Anybody whose Sharingan is powerful enough can control the tailed beasts. I just never wanted to do it. Naruto said, this plan does seem to go in our favor a bit more. Inoki said, oh, let her fight. She's the daughter of the Yellow Flash and Konoha's red-hot habanero. Tsunade said, yeah. I can totally handle this. Natsumi said, I don't know. Military strategy is a foreign concept to my little brother. I can never predict what he'll do. He might bring his own band of chaos to the battlefield. Said, the same could be said for Natsumi. Gaara said and Temari chuckled. I'll say. Temari added, hey. Natsumi said, be that as it may, chaos is what we'll need. She has my vote. Tsunade said, very well. The 8 and 9 tails will be under protective custody until Natsumi gains control of the 9 tails chakra. What do you say, Tsuchikage? Mei asked and Inoki nodded, we'll share our intel on Killer BWITN all use stone, mist, sand and leaf. Use it to put together tracking units and get them moving. Tell them to inform me the moment they locate the 8 tails. My younger brother will only listen to me. Said, may I say something? Chojuro said, what is it? Asked, right. Well, you see it's just. Spit it out, boy. Yelled, it's just, in the Akatsuki there's another member of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, Kisame Hashigaki. He has chakra equal to a jinchuriki in his sword, Samahata or Sharkskin, is the most terrible of all the blades. When his chakra and sword merge, he's human, but he's close to that of a jinchuriki. He's like a tailed beast without the tail, or so my elders have told me. He's extraordinary. Please do not underestimate him. Chojuro said, yes. We already know about that, but anyway, are all of you sure about this plan? Inoki asked, actually, I wonder about that. The world's first allied shinobi force is being formed here at the very moment and its strength is also unknown. Now there must be some risk in Madara using the 7 tails beasts. Otherwise he wouldn't have come to this summit to try to negotiate. He must be facing unfavorable circumstances like us. Furthermore, we samurai shall also participate in this war. Is this more satisfying, Tsuchikage? Mifune asked and Inoki just grunted. The question of who will lead the allied shinobi forces is still an issue. If you find any of us Kage suitable. After all, Mifune, you're the one who's disparaged every single one of us Kage. Inoki said and Mifune looked around. I believe appointing Lord A would be the wisest choice to make. Mifune said, you found him unsuitable because he's ruled by his emotions and relies on brute strength. Inoki complained, with the 8 tails still alive, I believe the Raikage will stay calm. Also, he built a consensus with you earlier and was able to come up with a counter-strategy. The Raikage is the only one who can control the 8 tails. A tailed beast that's key to the upcoming conflict. Mifune explained, Mizukage, Kazekage, Hokage. Are you okay with that? Anoki asked, oh for fuck's sake will you just shut your old ass up? You just basically asked for him to pick a leader. News flash you old fuck, the Raikage is the only suitable person for that. Gaara and Lady Mizukage are basically new, you're an old fart and Lady Tsunade is best suited for organizing the medical corps for the Alliance. By the way, stop referring to Killer Bee as the Eight Tails. It's offensive. We have names. Fucking use them. When you refer to us like that, you're no better than the Akatsuki. Natsumi said and Tsunade sighed, despite her vulgar language, she's right. Tsunade said, I agree. I'll put my faith in the Raikage. Mei answered, yes. We shall leave it to you. Gaara said, very well. I'll lead the allied shinobi forces. Anoki, since you're the only one who's battled Madara Uchiha, we'll need any intel you can give us. Now cooperate. Said, you still like taking down everyone and ordering them around, do you? Anoki asked, you don't have to trust me if you don't want to, but at this rate the entire shinobi world is in danger of eradication. Now is the time to put aside our personal feelings and work together. Said, well, I suppose it is better than losing this war. If this shinobi world were to disappear, I wouldn't be able to quarrel with you anymore. Alright. I'll cooperate. The allied shinobi forces is now formed. First we must report this to our respective feudal lords. Anoki said and Naruto just sighed, it's like they didn't even remember I said this guy isn't Madara Uchiha. Naruto mumbled, it's okay, but it still doesn't hurt to prepare just in case the real Madara shows up. I'll send word through Tatsu for anything we discover on our end, okay? Temari asked, sure. Naruto said, there's something else bothering you, isn't it? Temari asked, yeah. You could say that. Naruto admitted, wanna talk about it? Temari questioned and touched his shoulder, not yet. I have to talk to Tsunade first. Naruto said, Naruto, we're leaving. Kiss your girlfriend goodbye and summon Comet. Natsumi said and Temari blushed, I'll see you later. Temari said, as she kissed his cheek and left with Gaara, oh by the way. Tsuchikage. Naruto said, what is it? Anoki asked, if you ever send a message to Konoha again threatening me and Natsumi, I'll make what my father did to you during the Third Shinobi War look like a walk in the park. This is your only warning. Naruto said he looked at Anoki with his Sharingan blazing who only gave a grunt in acknowledgement. It's not that he was scared, but he honestly didn't want to risk pissing off somebody who just admitted he's a direct descendant of Madara Uchiha who also has the blood of the yellow flash going through his body. Danzo is dead, Tobi declared war and Natsumi was about to get more training. However, while this summit was going on, a certain snake summoner emerged from one of the many curse marks he placed on test subjects throughout the years. Series ends here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. Guys, make sure to help the author by visiting the link in the description. This is Fox Sage, and I'm signing off.